what God does is he goes to the crime scene and he washes their fingerprints off the crime scene. Now, if you go in with bitterness and anger and hatred in your heart and carrying the luggage of your pain and refuse to let them go, the only fingerprints left on the crime area are yours. Which means if you're still talking about it, you become guilty of the sin because you're the only one there. Whatever you see, you're gonna be your daddy didn't daddy you, but nobody daddied him. So how is he gonna daddy when he ain't been daddied? And all he's learned is how to run from responsibility. So you were brought into this world by somebody out of their mind, and you're trying to hold them accountable for knowing what they don't know. Now that doesn't mean that they should have learned and got responsible and yield to the Lord. But when Jesus had to go to the cross and take on all the sins, Jesus said, how are you going to defend and take the sins of the world when they were caught doing their stuff? There's no jury that will let them off. And then the Lord said, well, let me give you a 7-point sermon on the cross. And one of the words you say is, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because now if you say that, you'll be, as Stephen follows the example, you'll release them into destiny because you're pleading insanity. Any lawyer knows in the courtroom that if my client is guilty, the only way I can get them off is plead temporary insanity, and then they can go to treatment. When you got saved, you were confessing temporary insanity, and I've got to renew my mind. That's the reason why he said I got to get out of my body that a comforter will come to you. You need to go into treatment. You need somebody that's going to teach you all truth and bring you into fullness of God. Touch your neighbor and say, I'm in treatment. And there have been days I've done things that hurt folk. There have been days I've walked away from responsibility. There have been days that I've jacked families up and robbed folk and misused people. I've done some evil things, but I got saved and I asked God to forgive me. I'm still in treatment. I ain't got everything right. I ain't all that right, but I'm not going to hold somebody else's sins when they were out of their mind too. Thank God for keeping me when I was out of my mind and didn't know any better. How dare I hold an offense? There's so many of us, as you've gotten older, you've said, if I had known then what I know now. It wasn't really her fault. It wasn't really his fault. It wasn't really their fault. I was in a deep conversation with my wife about something last night, and I said to her something, and to this effect. I said, no, it wasn't their fault. It was my fault. She said, what do you mean? I said, can't nobody victimize me. I said, I make a decision to be a victim. I said, I've let folk hurt me that I should have cut off. I put myself in positions that I shouldn't have been in. I need to stop sitting up talking about how everybody did this when I put myself in various places. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. And as soon as I accept responsibility for where I am now and stop blaming everybody for what, where did you die at? What's it? this now. Watch this now. Watch this. Watch this. I came to set some of you free so you can take advantage of the opportunities along this journey. There was somebody very dear to me in such pain. I want you to hear this. This is true. In such pain, about to get married, and then the person they were going to marry switched. Found someone else and married about the same time they were. And now that person, it seems like everything is going right for. And the other one was crying to me saying, how can after they done all this look like everything is well for them after they hurt me and I gave my heart and I gave my all and I gave up my life to better their life, and now they got everything and I'm hurting? Bishop, you got to talk to me. I didn't know what to say at that moment until a few days ago. And I found out that this one went to the Lord and recognized in hindsight he was reckless, he was inconsiderate, he violated God and got on his knees and begged God to forgive him. Do you realize folk that dogged you can go to God with a sincere heart and beg God for forgiveness, and he'll free them? And the only one still sitting there is you, offended, hurt, and feeling justified. And Jesus is on the cross. And while he's on the cross, he's saying, forgive them, free them, release them, so you can be released, so you can be taken in, so you won't be stuck back at the offense. Take him. Watch this now. Watch this now. Watch this. I want to say, because I got to be real with you. I got to be real with you. I got to be real with you. Look at me. I can't explain this to you right now. I ain't even going to try. But I had to tell you the first part of this message in reference to purpose of God. It's not about me. I'm here on assignment. Still, Romans 8:28 still works. All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. Now, it's for the good of the kingdom. See, everybody think it's my good. Your good is that you're walking in destiny. His good is because you love him, that he can walk you through whatever he has to walk you through. That blessings of my pain is for somebody else. Stephen had to die and knew he was going to die so he can release Saul. I still have not answered the age-old question. Why do bad things happen to good people? I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. But then I look at Jesus. Why did all of our bad stuff happen to such a mighty God? And so another person that they brought to my mind was John the Baptist. John gave up his life, left his family lineage, disconnected himself from the priestly tribe of wearing the warm and wonderful garments and hanging in the temple and started eating honey, wild locusts and wild honey, and going out and preparing the way for Jesus, saying, repent, for the kingdom of heaven